out there. How many times have you rebuilt your offer behind the scenes instead of putting it out there on sale? What if your offer could bring in money right now as it is? Today, we're answering the question, what's the fastest way to start making money with my new offer? And the answer to that and what we're talking about is monetize the learning curve. This is coming from our blog this week, which is entitled Why Speed is the Secret to Increasing Revenue and How to Speed Up. And you can follow along with us at shaycannon.com/speed. That's shaycannon.com/speed. Okay. Excuse me. This subject matter came up to me as a gap in kind of the education we've kind of co-created between each other on how to grow your business and get it to your first six figures, because sometimes it's taking you too long to do things. And the longer it takes you, the longer you're not making money. So it goes to show that the faster that you'll do things, the faster that you will make money. And it came from two sayings that one of my mentors and past coaches talk about all the time. Lamar Tyler of TSP, I actually have on a TSP shirt right now, Traffic, Sales, and Profit. He always says that money loves speed, right? And he also says that if you want to make more money, you need to make more offers. So the faster you put your offer out there, the more money that you will make. Okay. With that in mind, this week we're talking about the importance of that speed, and I'm giving you strategies to speed up. The first one was you need to launch ugly. Stop trying to perfect the marketing for your offer and just launch it ugly. I even gave you 10 strategies on how to do that and a chat GPT prompt to help you out with that. So if you need to know how to launch ugly and get it out there as quick as possible, go back to yesterday's replay. That was part one. All right. Today is part two. Again, we're answering the question, excuse me, what's the fastest way to start making money with my offer? And that would be to monetize your learning curve. So, one of the fastest ways to grow as an entrepreneur is to stop hiding the messy middle and start turning it into momentum. When you treat your own trial and error as part of your offer model, every experiment becomes an asset instead of a setback. Rather than waiting until every detail is polished, businesses can generate momentum by putting simplified versions of your service into the market and shaping it, as you're offering it, as you're servicing it, while you're making money on it. This approach is powerful because it transforms what could be months of behind the scenes guesswork into paid research, allowing you as the entrepreneur to validate the demand, refine your delivery, and create proof of the result all at the same time. So, by treating the early stages as both a revenue opportunity and a testing ground, you can validate your ideas, attract paying clients, and adjust before having to invest months into the wrong direction. So, the result is not just faster cash flow, but deeper trust because your audience sees you evolving along with them. Now, yesterday we used the case study of Netflix on how to launch ugly, right? And I told you how they launched ugly, and because they did so, Blockbuster had not been able to recover from that, and eventually went out of business. Today, we're going to keep using Netflix as our case study. So, how did Netflix monetize their learning curve? Well, Netflix followed the exact same playbook in its early years. Rather than waiting until streaming technology was flawless and perfect, they monetized DVD rental in that phase while they were learning the customer's behavior. If you remember yesterday, I told you they started creating buzz around convenience. You don't necessarily have to wait in lines. You don't necessarily have to wait for business hours to get the DVDs that you want. You can go online and reserve the DVDs with all of this convenience that they put out there as buzz. Now they're using that buzz to see how are the customers liking convenience? What information are we getting from them about convenience? Because what's going to be more convenient than streaming, right? So they launched the DVDs, but they paid attention to customer behavior, building the foundation that would later make them the streaming giant. Okay, so they didn't wait till they perfected it to start selling it. they started selling it and started getting information that was then going to help them to perfect it later on. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be monetizing our learning curve. Monetize your perfection formulas, right? Start selling is basically what that means. So this was all about how do we put the offer out there faster. Yesterday we talked about how do we market faster. Today we're talking about how to get the offer out there faster. That was the blog post, but you know, here on the morning show, I give you more. So let me pull up these show notes. I have 10 strategies to make money from your new offer faster. Okay. Number one, sell the pilot and not the airplane. Now, I just want y'all to know, stop right there. I thought I was just so smart and witty when I came up with that one. Sell the pilot and not the airplane. But let me tell you what I mean by that. So you can sell access to your real-time implementation of a plan for your clients and customers to follow along with, answer questions along the way as you gauge their interest in them learning the process. Okay. So, for example, a product development coach can sell access to building a brand, that journey, right? And with them developing a product, you get to follow along as they start from the beginning and then get that product to market. And all along the way, they're gauging how interested would you be in learning the process. Okay. So they're the pilot. They're the one doing it. So they're not selling you doing it or it being done for you. They're selling you watching them fly the plane, right? That's what they sold. So you're selling the pilot and not the plane. But all along the way, we're gauging what is your interest in the plane? What is your interest in a flight? Okay. Number two, treat feedback as fuel. This should be a no-brainer by now for most of us, right? We should understand that we need feedback. We need to go after it aggressively. We need to stop having these negative feelings about it and understand that that's gold. That's what we need. And by gold, I mean GOLD, but it should be our GOAL to get it. Okay. Because feedback is what you're missing to actually make it perfect. All these things you're doing by yourself in a silo off of what you think is going to make it perfect don't count as much as actually getting information from the people that you want to sell it to. So treat feedback as fuel. Be intentional about requesting, receiving, and using client reactions, questions, and struggles to guide improvements. Every piece of feedback becomes a built-in roadmap for shaping your next vision. So what that means is, again, stop trying to perfect it. Put it out there as a way to perfect. Let me give you an example. A marketing consultant notices that multiple clients are asking for help with email automation. So she builds into her package email automation instead of trying to figure out what will make that package more valuable to people, what will make them buy. She's building in the feedback that she got. They've already said that's what they need and that's what they would buy. Okay. You need to be doing the same. Number three, iterate in real time. Iterate in real time. Adjust your offer while delivering it instead of waiting to after. Okay. So some of us get feedback and we wait until that round is over or that service is over and then we build a better service. You can start in real time taking that feedback and adding it in, right? So small pivots during delivery helps keep clients happy while fast tracking the improvements. As an example, a branding designer notices her clients need extra guidance with color palettes. So while she's branding to help them pick their colors, she starts adding in this color psychology guide in the middle of the project. It didn't exist before she realized from the feedback that that's what they needed. So she added it in. And see, the great thing about that is half the time when you do that, clients don't even know that that wasn't a part of the original thing. They just know right when they felt like they needed it, it appeared. Okay. So iterate in real time. Number four, limit options for clarity, right? Limit options for clarity. Keep your early stage offers very simple. One clear problem solved with one price point, right? You don't have to start off with all of these tiers. You can, we talked about this before, y'all, right? When we talk about clarity, you can have an offer ladder and all those offers can be on the back shelf, but what you present in your window should be one thing, okay? But that one thing, if you're trying something new, you can try the smaller version of that one thing. So what you can do is speed up sales and keep you from wasting time building this complex multi-phase offering by starting with just a simple one, the first step, instead of all 8 steps. Okay, so for example, a marketing tech has a single introductory offer: create a lead magnet funnel. Instead of bombarding you with all of the different types of sales funnels that they can build for you, they give you an introductory funnel. Because no matter what you're selling and no matter what kind of sales funnel you need, in the front, you're going to need one that has leads. So all they're doing is offering you a lead magnet funnel, because that's going to be the front of most sales funnels anyway. Okay. All right. Number 5, launch a minimal viable service. Strip all that extra stuff from your service. Some of y'all need to do that anyway. Let me just get off script for a minute. Some of y'all got too much stuff in your offer as supposedly the core offer, when really what it takes to get from A to B as the transformation that you have promised in exchange for the money don't take all of that. And so when I tell you you can add bonuses to make an irresistible offer, you don't know how to add bonuses because you did already put the kitchen sink in there as a part of the core offer. So figure out what is the least amount of servicing they need to get from A to B, because you promised them B without all that extra. Okay. That's the first thing. What is the straight line without all the extra? Now, all that stuff that you have is extra. Those are the things that now in the future can be bonuses and, fast action type of things. So keep that in mind. But let's go back. Launch a minimum viable service. Strip your offer down to its core result, still the A to B. Deliver the essential transformation and layer on extras later on, once you know what clients value the most. Okay. So even some of the things that you think will be great bonuses, they might not even value. So what you do is you offer them the A to B, and all along the way, ask them, what will have made this easier for you? Like, we got you to the transformation as promised, but what do you think would have made it easier for you? Okay. And those are the things that you can now create and make it great bonuses. Also, sometimes what y'all are putting together are 12-month things that probably need to start off as a 1-month thing. Okay. So, as an example, a fitness coach starts with a basic 4-week online workout plan plus one check in, right? Instead of doing a full blown app with meal plans and recipe libraries and video tutorials talking about this is more valuable, they would rather buy this. Well, you might have took your time to put all that together and they don't want none of that, right? Maybe they're following Dr. LaFera and they're following her juicing stuff, so they don't want your meal plan. They following Dr. LaFera when it comes to the food portion, right? So putting all that in there, they don't even value that. So now they don't want to pay that price because they feel like they're paying for something they don't value. Start with the A to B, okay? Number 6, live training to replay. Host your service once in a live setting, then repurpose the recording to be a sellable on-demand product. Some of y'all are so worried about creating a course and how many modules does it need and this and that, whatever. Go teach that thing live first. Figure out what do these people need live, because see, live you can adjust in real time. Now use that replay as an on-demand kind of course that has all the parts that's needed in there. Whereas if you had created the course in a silo by yourself, you wouldn't have known to iterate feedback right then and make it to where it was more valuable. Okay. So one effort multiplies into online ongoing revenue. Example, a copywriter runs a live workshop on writing sales emails that sell, and then sells the replay as a low cost product on her website. Okay. Number 7, pre-sale with founding clients. Now we talked about pre-selling before you build on yesterday, right? We talked about that yesterday. We talked about the caveat of don't pre-sale before you build if it's going to take you too long to build. We talked about that. But sometimes what you can do is, whether it's built or it's not built, before you do a whole big launch, you can do a small micro launch. And that's what I mean by pre-sale this time. You can do a micro launch of the offer in its imperfect phase, but to a very warm audience. Okay. And this is what we're going to do at a discounted rate, possibly an introductory rate. But the whole point of this is going to be to get the feedback to make it better, but also get the testimonials that help to sell it. Okay, so pre-sale with founding clients. Invite a small group of early adopters from your warm audience to join as a discounted rate in exchange for feedback testimonials. Their input will fund and shape the official service that's going to be launched in a bigger way. So, for example, a career coach opens 5 founding member slots for a new group coaching program at 30% off, collecting testimonials to use for the full launch. All right. Number 8, license your process early. License your process early. You can, before you put out your whole program, right? This will be a great one for you, Dr. LaSoy. You have programs. I'm sure you have ideas for more programs. Before you even put out the programs, you can put out some of the pieces of the program to see what that's doing, what the demand is like for that. So going back to the caption, share your method, share the tools, share the templates with people before the full program is ready. It's a way to monetize the intellectual property portion of the program while you're still testing how best to put together the program. So this is a program you haven't even launched. You already making money off pieces of it, right? So example, a system strategist licenses her onboarding checklist to other coaches before even finishing her full client operations academy for coaches. Okay. So that was an example. Number 9, run paid experiments. I love me a good paid experiment. So charge for short term or beta offers instead of giving away for free. Some of y'all have some great lead magnets that people would be willing to come into your funnel at a low cost, right? Some of your lead magnets are so great that you can start charging $7, $17, $27, $47, $97, right? Just to start testing, but you're getting paid. So what you're doing is you're going to validate the demand, you're going to earn the money, and you're going to test the process in real world conditions. Example, a wellness coach offers a 7-day stress reset challenge, right? But it's paid. They got to pay. It's not free. And what we're testing is the interest before we commit to creating a 12-week program around stress resetting. Okay. Number 10, showcase progress publicly. Now, this is one that kind of pays not necessarily monetarily right off the bat, but it's bringing in leads that convert to money. Okay. So share behind the scenes lessons as you build your offer, refining the service. This will not only build trust, but it also builds leads for the offer while also positioning you as relatable and making your evolved offer more attractive. See, one thing about sharing the mess with people and being transparent with what you're going through and how you're doing it and how you're improving it, people feel like they have a little ownership in it because they were there at the beginning with you. Think about some of the things that you were able to follow along with. You're very proud to be able to say, I remember when, and now it's this, and I was there for the whole journey, right? I love brand stories like that. I love marketing like that. You guys can take advantage of it too. So let's see. The example I gave is a business coach documents her process of building a new mastermind on LinkedIn, sharing the wins, sharing the fails, lessons learned weekly, which attracts people eager to join the finished version. Okay. So those were the 10 strategies on how to get your new offer out there quicker. The question of the day. Let me grab that. And I do have a chat GPT prompt for you, but it's really the same one from yesterday because all you're going to do is add in the information of the list from today to kind of change it up. Good morning, Glow. We see you over here on the YouTube side. Cool beans. The question for the day is, do you have an offer you haven't released for sale yet that you know needs to get out there and start making you money? And which of the strategies from today will help you achieve that faster? We're going to start with Keith unless he's going to put it in the chat. And if he's going to put it in the chat, we'll start with Dr. Latoya. Okay. But first, I'm going to give you a recap of all the 10 strategies to get your offer out there quicker, faster, start making that money right now. Give you the recap with all the extras. So number 1, sell the pilot, not the plane. Sell you doing it and access to seeing all the ways that you're doing it and gauge the interest on do they want to learn how to do it at a price. Number 2, treat feedback as fuel. We need to be intentional about seeking feedback, about getting questions, getting what people are saying and what make it better, and then using that feedback. Okay. Number three, iterate in real time. Instead of waiting till a program or a service is over to start infusing the feedback, do that while you're servicing, before the service is over. Go ahead and add it in there. Okay. Number four, limit options for clarity. Start with just a beginning, clear cut transformation instead of creating this multi phase thing as an offer. Create one phase as an offer. Let's get it out there. Number five, launch a minimal viable service. Okay, so strip down to the A to B. What is the single straight line to get them to the transformation? That needs to be the minimal viable service. You're keeping your brand promise. I'm sorry, without all the extra. Okay. Number six, live training to replay. Stop trying to perfect your course. Go ahead and do it live to get, information to make it better, and then sell on demand what you did as a replay. Number seven, pre-sale with founding clients. You know what? I don't like the word pre-sale. I think that's going to confuse you. Let's say pre-launch. Pre-launch with founding clients, okay? Do a little soft launch to a warm audience so that you can do it in offer it at a discount in exchange for testimonials that you're going to use on the sales page when you do the full launch. So now it's a better thing. You got the social proof that you need, and we're launching in a bigger way later on. Number eight, license your process early before you even put that program out there. Some of that intellectual property that you're creating to go along with that program, any of the templates, any of the frameworks, any of the tools, let's go ahead and sell those before we even release the program, so we can see, did you find those tools valuable, or can we get feedback to make the tool better, right? Before we even launch the full program, we making money. Number nine, run paid experiments. Excuse me, anything you want to just try and see and get market research for, you don't have to do it for free. You can get paid to run your research, right? So do a short-term beta project and see if you can validate this offer. Do people actually want it? Because the worst thing you can ever do is release something people be looking at you like, who asked you for that? Nobody said they needed that. Number 10, showcase progress publicly. This is the one that you may not be getting money for showing progress of something and showing the behind the scenes. However, you get paid in leads that will convert higher. All right. That was our 10. Let's start with Keith is going to use the chat. So let's start with Dr. Latoya. Question of the day: do you have an offer you haven't released for sale yet that you know needs to be out there to start making you money? And which of the strategies we discussed today would help you to achieve that faster?
I do not think I have an offer that I haven't released. I'm trying to stop putting out offers, and I know that's the opposite of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to put out more offers faster. But I think I have too many offers, and so I am working on that minimal viable product, like really trying to scale back and figure out what that looks like and how to put that out there. But from what you said, the um, the last one about sharing the progress,
Yes.
that's definitely the one that I need to do more of.
Yeah, it's definitely a great lead generator, if nothing else. So I like that for you. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, do you have an offer you haven't released for sale yet that you know needs to get out there to start making you money? And which of the strategies from today would help you to achieve that faster?
So I just put an offer out this week, um, energy reset challenge, and for 21 days. And so um, using the information that you just gave us,
Mm-hmm.
what I've been doing, I like is sell the pilot, not the plane. That's
Mm-hmm.
working real good with content and. Um, You had some other good stuff on here. I don't know what the license. Well, I do know what license the process early, but like I would have to look at that and see how I make that work. But yes, it's my answer. That was number 8.
Cool. Love it. Yeah, license your process early was number 8. So just to give you more clarity, it's just, you know how your programs have downloadables or different tools that you add in there to make it even more valuable. Instead of selling the program first, you can sell the tools first. So that's what that's talking about. License your process early. So the intellectual property portion of it, that's not the actual teaching, but the things that are supplemental to the teaching, sell them on their own before the program even comes out. Cool beans. Let's go to Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media. Do you have an offer you haven't released for sale yet that you know needs to get out there to start making you money? And which of the strategies from today would help you to achieve that faster?
Okay. I don't know which strategy, but I'm going to tell you what I believe. And maybe, yes. Anyway, looking at the list of things, all of the things, one of the strategies or the offer is that I don't have a lower entry ticket offer to what it is that I do.
Mm,
And so, like, one of the things that I'm working on, and it's called like Visibility Day Design. And that's
mm-hmm,
where you get certain templates, scripts, PDFs, where it's all its own thing to get a quick start, even if it's something that's a faceless, but the same type of starter kit with, tutorials and things.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but that's not mentioned anywhere. And that's not how I'm trying to figure out a lower way for people to come in before they go off on one of the other ascension ladders.
I like that. I like thinking about, what's missing from your offer letter and what can be an introductory something. So I think out of the strategies, uh the one I think I want you to try the most is that run paid experiments. Start just putting shit out there and putting a low price on it and see what bites. You see what bites you get. And then when you start getting bites on something, then expound upon that something. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah,
It
just,
does because I know I told you part of what I believe is even a part of the gap with increasing leads is I need to do some type of ad. At this point, I've got to do some type of ad. I have to.
but let's not forget that if that ad is for a cold audience, that ad needs to be to some kind of great and valuable lead magnet. We don't do an ad straight to our offer to cold audiences where they don't like, know, and trust us. That we're wasting money. Remember, so unless it's bargain basement, unless it's Timu, unless it's Wish, you know what I'm saying, where the risk has been mitigated, they're not going to buy that offer when they don't like, know, and trust you. It's harder to sell that way to a cold audience. So don't forget that part of it.
Okay, okay.
Um, all right, let's go to Keith. Keith said no offers. However, I'm looking at number 10 to generate more leads, which equals more money. I'm glad I put number 10 in there because I started not to because it didn't lead directly to money, but I put it in there because some of us, like I actually had Dr. Latoya in mind because I was like, she got enough offers. Like she got so many offers, we didn't have to categorize them things. Yeah, I'm glad I put number 10 in there. I'm glad I followed my first mind. Cool beans. All right, let's go over here to the YouTube side. We got Glow over here and we got Kimberly that jumped over here. So Glow said, no, I do not have an offer. I've been thinking on it. So she's thinking about 2, 4, and 10. So let's go back and see what's 2, 4, and 10. 2 was treat feedback as fuel. 4 was limit options for clarity. And of course, 10 was us doing the follow along, show the progress publicly for more of leads generation. I like that for you, Glow. Kimberly said, a clearance offer to move the extra product, simplify the strategy. Love that. And yes, minimize the offer. I love that for you. So the goal is to get things to market faster. Okay, let's start marketing faster. Let's start getting the offer out there faster. Tomorrow we're going to talk about delivering faster, like actually servicing faster. Okay, to make more money because we've had a conversation about capacity and that kind of thing before. And we're kind of going to dive back into that as something we should be doing faster. But so far, what we talked about is marketing faster by launching ugly, getting our offer out there faster by monetizing the learning curve. Does anybody have any questions, any value adds or aha moments for what we talked about so far about getting things out there faster so we're making money faster? Any questions? Cool beans. So the prompt is the same as yesterday. My ideal client is, and you're going to enter that, fill in the blank. My general service is, you're going to fill in that blank. The offer I want to launch quickly is, you're going to fill in the blank, and then you're going to use the 10 strategies and see what 5 recommendations per every 10 strategy they give for you to do that for that offer. Okay? Cool beans. All right. What's going on in our free business mastermind group this week? Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're having movie club night. I'm going to put the details in the group soon, no later than, I'm going to say tomorrow, but I'm going to try to put it there today. Your job is to watch the movie before 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, so that at 7, when we gather together, we're going to discuss the business nuggets that we all pulled out of the movie in the meeting. All right. Great. So this has been her First Six Figures Morning Show, which is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first 6 figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. If you want to find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, please go to the links of the resources below. Resources like how to join the free business mastermind and how to get the 10 strategies in the show notes from today or recent past episodes. Again, in the description below. All right. If you haven't already, I ask you every day. I'm going to ask you again today. Give us a thumbs up, like this episode, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss a thing. And understand that today's episode is just one video out of a 4-video series. So check out the other videos. And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3,